Hi folks, my name's Chuck and this is Hiking with Roulette Run. Today I'm trying to get a video out before Christmas and let's see, Saturday, December 21st, 2024. 2024. So today I wanted to put out a video. I just got a piece of equipment the other day, 2 days ago, that I wanted to give a try, and I thought I'd share it with you because I'm kind of excited to see it and try it. So let's get turned around. We'll see what we've got here. Okay, so these are two different FireMaple cook pots, and they both have these heat exchangers on the bottom. I just received this brand new 750 milliliter cook pot. This is their 1 liter version, and I just wanted to kind of go over this new one and why I bought it and why I want to switch from the 1 liter. Although the 1 liter is a very capable pot, I've used it several times, but I wanted to go over this 750 milliliter pot and show you the good things about it that I like. First of all, let's start out with the difference between these two handles. You notice this one flips open and is a 2-piece handle, and while I like that, I really like the fact that this one both locks into the closed position and helps hold the lid on, whereas this one does not. And we'll get into the lid here in just a minute. So you get this handle moved by squeezing the two sides together and flipping it down, and then it locks into the open position. Now I like the 750 milliliter lid better, simply because it has a ring around the inside that kind of holds the lid on there, and you can actually boil or whatever, cook while the lid is on, whereas this one kind of snaps on, but it's not the most reliable thing in the world that I've found. When you've got the pot loaded, it doesn't want to stay on very well for some reason. I don't know why. Now on the inside, something I do like about the 1 liter pot better than the 750 milliliter pot is you'll notice that this one has graduated markings all the way down. The 750 milliliter pot does not. It only has a 750 milliliter line, and that is it. Something else on the bottom, and we'll get into that here more in a minute, is you'll notice that the heat exchanger on the 750 milliliter pot has these cutouts, and those are for a I'll call it a 3-prong stove, which I'll show you here in just a minute. And while this works just fine, it does have a little bit more of a tendency or the ability to slip and slide on the top of the stove. So what all can I fit into this 750 milliliter cook pot? Well, first of all, I've got a stand here for my that holds my fuel canister. I've also got a FireMaple stove here. This is their Green Peak stove, and you'll notice when you flip this open, it has those 3 prongs that I'm talking about that actually fit directly into that cutout, those cutouts on the bottom of the heat exchanger for the stove there. Now I'm going to go ahead. What else have I got in here? I've got 2 full-size Bic lighters, a bandana, and then that 100-gram fuel canister. So let me get the stove set up and I'll be right back in a minute. Now I'm not certain how well you can see that here in the video, but there's only the one 750 milliliter marking in there. And I understand that, you know, tooling and everything for the stampings are going to cost money to put in there, but my personal opinion is that it would be a lot nicer if it had the same maybe 0.5 or maybe 0.25 milliliter markings in there. That's all I was saying. Okay, and so this is the 1 liter pot, and I just wanted to show you that it does not have those cutouts for the stove, and you'll notice how easily this slips and slides around on the top of there. Now we'll compare that with the 750 milliliter pot with the cutouts. Now, and the whole stove has to move in order for you to get that same tip over problem, or slide. It's certainly not going to slide off because the stove is actually locked in to these cutouts in the heat exchanger there. Now, if I were FireMaple, my suggestion would be, or if I was a customer for FireMaple, my suggestion would be that I would redesign this 1 liter pot with those cutouts, and possibly with this same style of lid, and maybe I would be interested in buying one of those pots as well, because, you know, with a 1 liter pot, maybe you're cooking for more than one person, and maybe 2-3 people, and so maybe you're heating hot water for 2 or 3 people. Whereas this 750 milliliter pot, maybe it would do 2 people. I don't know, maybe 2 people, or maybe it would do a meal plus maybe a hot beverage like your tea or coffee or hot cocoa, whatever. That would be up to you folks. Now we're going to give this a try, a little test. I brought with me a liter of water. If I can get the lid off of it, it'll be great. And we're going to fill this up to the 750 milliliter line here. And this is going to be the inaugural run right there to the 750 milliliter line. Then we're going to turn on our stove. This stove does have a, they call a piezo igniter, lit on the first try, which I've been very happy with in the past. And we're going to put a timer on this, and we're just going to see how long does it take. Now I'm going to turn that heat down just a little bit, because any flame that's coming out the sides of your stove is actually wasted fuel. And because it will come to a boil quicker with the lid on, we're going to go ahead and do that. My phone actually says it's 28 degrees out here at the moment. We may be fighting Boyle's Law here a little bit. With the 28 degree temperature and the fact that as you're pulling gas out of the tank there, you're actually cooling that tank. And as you cool the tank, then you're losing pressure out of the tank. There we go. We are to a full rolling boil. All right, folks, one more thing that I wanted to mention about these two pots is that they are actually the same diameter. And they are a larger diameter than the FireMaple 650 milliliter pot, the G3. The 750 milliliter is a G2, and perhaps if they did a redesign of the 1 liter, with the handle change and the slots in the bottom there, maybe that could be a G1 FireMaple. Just a thought. One other small device that I failed to mention that I keep in this FireMaple bag is this fuel transfer device that I keep in there with the stove. And all that fits into the 750 milliliter pot just fine. Also, when I went to pack away the fuel canister and stove, when I went to pick it up off of the 2x6 here, you can still kind of see where it froze to the board there, whereas neither one of these pots, you'll see it's got a little moisture here on that board, and it froze to that, but neither one of these pots have frozen to it, and I have to suspect that is because of the drop in temperature of the canister as we were pulling fuel from it. I did also want to mention this Green Peak stove, and you'll notice the top here actually kind of spreads the gas out, which makes for a more efficient flame. And it also has this piezo igniter right here, and so far I have never had to use a lighter in order to ignite this stove at all. And I've been very happy with it. And again, as I told you, it's got the three, I'll call them prongs or whatever, that hold that stove in place for the 750 milliliter. And again, if I were FireMaple, I would consider making the heat exchanger with the slots on the bottom of that 1 liter pot. It may entice more people to make the match between the stove and the pot. Okay folks, so compared to a lot of other stove videos, this may not have been the fairest test on a 28-degree Fahrenheit day. And you know, it's kind of chilly out here. And then couple that with the cooling of the tank as you're trying to heat. You're kind of fighting each other, but obviously it did work. And so I'm out here at the river. In case you watched my first video, you may have seen this location once before. I'm out here on the trail, the city trail, and it's a nice place to shoot right here beside the river. So thank you for joining me, and Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Do me a favor, hit like and subscribe.